Good evening. Good evening, gents and ladies. Okay, so let's just continue from where we left off. I'd indicated to say we'll start from this particular slide, which is Excel move cells. So we are saying there are two ways in which you can move cells. And these two ways, you can drag and drop as well as you can copy and paste. So I'll just show you one, but the other method you can do it on your own. So we can either look at the drag and drop, or we can look at the copy and paste. Okay, so for the drag and drop, let me open an Excel. Excel. Okay, I'm opening a blank Excel. Let me get back to the slide. So we're saying, let's start by typing some values that we can work with. So let me just type in some random values, 302, 502, 400, 120. I think we can have 963, 450, 120, and 300 there. Okay, so let's start by typing some values that we can work with. I've typed that. The next we are saying, start by marking the area A1 to B4. So remember to mark an area so we are marking from this particular cell, A1, to this cell where there is 44, which is B4. So basically, even here, we can mark, say, starting from there, you just move your cursor, sorry. You just move your cursor like that. You go to the first position you want to start from. Right click on, or left click on your mouse, move your cursor to where you want to end. That's basically what we're doing there. Just like it is depicted in that image there. Then we are saying you can drag and drop the range by pressing and holding the left mouse button on the border. The mouse cursor will change to the move symbol when you hover over the border. So we are saying, let's try it out. So the border is there, and if you've seen the mouse symbol there, it's a plus. When you take it near the border, it changes. So you press the left button on the mouse, then you can simply move. So after you press the left mouse button, you can now scroll to whichever area you want to move your data to, and it moves. So basically, this is the drag and drop method that has been listed here. So we're saying you can drag and drop, or you can simply copy and paste. So let's look at copy and paste. You need to highlight the data that you are copying. Then you simply right click there. You can say copy. If I say copy there and I paste it in another box. Okay, sorry, let me just highlight that. Say right click, say copy. I can go to another location and right click and say paste. Okay. Or I can as well, instead of copying, I can cut by right clicking there and saying cut. When you cut, it means you are moving it completely. When you copy, you're just making a copy. So if I paste, it will move from the other location. So basically, those are the two methods of how you can move data from one cell to the other. Let's look at some other things. Okay, so you can read through there. I've taught you, or now you can paste. So this we can basically skip it. Copying and paste are highlighted in that particular example. We are skipping this as well. How to delete data. Basically, if you have to delete data, you need to highlight it the way I've highlighted it. Then you can click on the delete button on your keyboard, or you can right click on it and say delete. It will ask you, are you trying to delete the entire row, column, etc., etc. So you need to know what you're deleting. Yeah. So in terms of deleting, that as well is easy. Just the same way you do it in Word, this is how you get to do it from this angle as well. Let's look at adding new columns as well as rows. I'll do it at once so that we just get to have a glimpse of how that is done. Then I'll run through the particular slide. So if you can see there, if I place this is a column like we said, this is a row. So if I want to add a new column, all I need to do is I just need to take my cursor to a particular column, then I right click there and say insert. So when I insert, it will insert a column right before the one that I highlighted. So if I want to put something in between them and in between the two columns, I just go to column N, right click there and say insert. Then there will be a column in between. The same happens with rows. I can just say insert. If I say insert, it will add a column right before the one. So if I look at where there is 300 and 305, if I want to add some row in between, I just basically go there and say insert. Then there will be a row that will be created in the middle. So there we can just skip through. If you read in your notes, you'll be able to see that at least I've demonstrated how to add the column as well as how to add a row. Let me see if I need to just demonstrate something there again. Okay, how to undo, there's always this symbol in Excel. There are these menus actually. This one is saying undo insert. If I go on it, it will undo whatever I did. So there is undo as well as redo. So those you can play around with them, but sometimes it's dangerous to always assume they would work. So be sure when you're deleting something or when you're adding something. So undoing as well as redoing, I've actually shown you. These are the two icons I just showed. One is telling you to take back the data to a state it was before. The other one taking it a bit forward, maybe after you've undone. Then next, I need to take you through what we are referring to as Excel formulas. So remember we were saying in Excel, you can actually do formulas. So I think in the first video, I've actually highlighted on a number of ways in which you can do a formula. So in Excel, if you have to do a formula, you have to start by typing in the equal sign, then the formula that you want to execute. So if you type in equal sign 1 + 1, when you enter in a cell, let's say equal sign 1 + 1, when you press on enter, it will give you your answer. So in Excel, you can actually carry out some computations. And basically, that's one of the core business or core reasons why Excel is there. You can as well play around with, I told you can play around with references where I have, let's say 980 in that box, and then I have 650 in the other box. I can put an equal sign there, and I can refer to this cell, which is C6. C6, I can say 66 plus C7. If I do enter, it will add what is in the two cells. But this time around, I was not really using the actual numbers, but I used the references, which are more like an address. So that as well can be achieved in Excel. Okay. So this you can practice, you can read through, and you'll be able to just get to be comfortable as possible. So you can play around with the data that is there in that handout that I've shared with you. Okay, so just go through, I'm sure it will make sense. Here we are saying you can actually add even in a row. So in this particular function here, we were trying to add what is in B2 plus what is in C2 plus what is in D2. When you enter, it will add the 3 columns. And one thing you should notice actually when you're doing such calculations, let me do this. I'll put a 600 there, and then I'll put an equal sign. Immediately, I refer to a reference. So let's say this is C6. If I do C6, even the actual cell that I'm referring to will be highlighted. So if I do plus, and then I want to refer to C7, if immediately I type in C7, C7 will be highlighted. So you actually be able to note, say, I've done the right thing or I've done the wrong thing. Okay. This as well, you can just peruse through, you can read through, and you should be able to be on board. The sum function, I'll teach you properly as we start the other functions next week. But for now, you can just read through and see how the sum function works. But otherwise, the sum function is one of those functions, the 6 functions that I promised would need to go through. Okay. So for now, this I can skip it. So that we look at the things that, okay. Okay, so for now, let's end that there. Then we'll look at another portion. So in the next video, we'll start from relative and absolute references.